this, another episode of the Cooligans. We just keep making these.
They keep asking us to stop, and I just broke something.
Oh, no. Now's the end of the show.
We got a packed house today.
This is too many people.
It's too many people. We just recently did the Cooligans Underdogs, collab. And now we're bringing in more folks. We rarely have.
The last time it was two dope guys, but we were the young, sexy ones. Now we brought in, they're taller, they're better looking, They got cooler clothing, they got more muscles. What is going on?
Our replacements are here.
Oh no! This is what we would look like if our wives' brains could decide what we look like. Okay. This is what our podcast would look like.
Yes, these are the AI generation, generative versions of ourselves.
This is like the Chat GPT, like, hey, make the Cooligans, but for Gen Z. It would be these two.
Very thrilled. So welcome to the show, everybody.
It's the Cooligans, buddy.
As always, here it is. My name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerrero.
And let's introduce our guest before we get going, because we have a lot to discuss today. But
I'll start
Alexis.
with the British chap, the gentleman, Cheerio, sitting at the end of the table.
Please, more English stereotypes, please.
You guys might know him as the guy who gets tea and crumpets all over our clips and has to wipe them off. How annoying. He gets mushy peas all over the captions. This man is our editor, but also one of the dopest people I've met from London. One of the coolest dudes, also knows a ton about the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Boyce!
Jamie, what's good, brother?
Good day, sir.
Oh, my man. And for all the audio listeners, yes, he just tipped his cap.
Yes.
He got a big old hat, too, like the British have.
He has his monocle in his monocle washing machine that he carries around.
So, like Alexis mentioned, Jamie is our video editor and also works for Copa 90.
That's right.
An incredible content creator and just good dude, okay?
Good dude.
So I'm happy you're here. Let me introduce our next guest. You may have heard or seen him on the Give and Go podcast. He is in New York, all the way from Austin. Just another great football content creator that we're huge fans of. Big round of applause for Edward Reynoso.
How's it going, folks? Thank you for having me. And I just want to say right off the bat, keep blasting that button for me.
The Eagle?
Texas is in the building.
Freedom!
That baby. Blast it, bro.
Let freedom reign, bro.
Man.
Okay, Alexis.
He's open carrying his freedom in New York, dude.
Bro, I think the quota for the Eagle Scream has already been surpassed.
We surpassed it, as we should. We should.
I think you just also hit him in the penis button.
I might have. My fingers are chubby.
Reynoso.
I want everyone to understand that there is a Dominican American from Brooklyn. There is a Cuban American from Newark. There is a Mexican American from Tejas. And there is a British giant on this table. What an eclectic character. What an eclectic. Big Ben is in the building, folks.
I'll take it.
What an eclectic mix.
Lord.
We're really doubling down on the British angle.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Big Ben, I'll take it.
Look, all right. So, the Give and Go podcast. Obviously, we've seen a bunch of clips, and just so we can get it out of the way, because I'm sure we will forget a lot of people's resumes real quick. Let people know about Give and Go and what it's all about.
Yeah, who are you? What makes you think you could do what we do?
And Go is the Cooligans' future replacement. Go ahead and check us out on all our social media. Look at this, bro. Look at this. It's the future. The Give and Go on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. You can find us everywhere. We talk about football, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Small
let's
teams,
go.
big
And they
teams,
do a great
everything
job.
between.
And you know what I love about you guys? You guys are unabashedly talk about all the sports, but also give as much time to the Mexican League and Mexican, which is important. I think it's important for the growth of the sport to bring, because people might not know this. I've said this to Jamie. The number one league in the U.S. for viewership is Liga MX. It's the Mexican League. It's not the Premier League. Premier League is number 2. And it's not that close if you look at the numbers. It's getting a little bit closer, but it's not that close. But there's a massive disparity between the Mexican fans who typically only take in content in Spanish. It's stuff from Mexico. It's not stuff from the U.S., and then the U.S. fans. And I think you guys have done a really good job of bridging that gap.
Yeah, man.
Well, I feel,
He just took that. He was like, yeah,
For sure.
hell
Yeah. No,
that's
you're right.
what I do.
I just feel bad that Liga MX and Premier League are no longer going to be the most watched leagues because Lionel Messi is in the building, bro. Lionel Messi has arrived to Inter Miami.
It's not even MLS. Inter Miami is going to be the #1 league in the U.S., bro.
Lionel Messi, did you guys see the announcement yesterday? It was on Apple TV. It was a big.
It was so beautiful. It made God cry.
Okay, it was an emotional, I think, a response by Jesus, Yahweh, whatever religious figure you like, Jesus, whoever you want to support,
Jesus, Christ the Redeemer, Kim Jong Un, whoever you pray to,
but
bro.
we don't usually get these kind of announcements. I don't. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime experience. The fact that we got to see Messi and yeah, it was raining. That yes, there were some technical issues, and we'll go through them.
You don't need to hear everybody's audio.
Okay, but what did you guys?
It's more of a vibes event.
Yeah,
and the vibes were high.
What did you guys think of it? I want to get Jamie's thoughts first. And seeing this spectacle here in America.
As a very white British man, I couldn't understand a word that was being said.
Okay,
I couldn't hear the English or the Spanish. So
He's like, this is the longest Taco Bell order ever.
The highlight was David Beckham nearly slipping over on the slip and
That was cute. That was cute.
That was probably the highlight. Outside of that, I think with Busquets, they didn't give him enough flowers. He's one of the greatest CDMs of all time. It was all about the Messi show.
Oh, he was the appetizer, bro.
Yeah. He was the bridesmaid.
Get these nachos out of here, bro.
He was the bridesmaid on the night,
100%.
Yeah. I was actually very impressed with his English, though. I didn't know his English was that good.
I had no idea he spoke English.
Yeah.
Messi, I knew he wasn't even going to try.
Man, he's not even going to try yet.
He's like, thank you. That's the most.
Okay, just to ask them, what was better, David Beckham's Spanish or Busquets' English?
Busquets is English.
Busquets is English.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Beckham trying to speak Spanish is uncomfortable for all of us. Starting with his tongue at the top of the list and making it all the way down to me.
it wasn't too uncomfortable, but like you could tell he has spent some time in Spain and knew a little bit. But
Spain Spanish don't hit when you're talking to a bunch of Cubans and Colombians and Argentinians.
Exactly. He wasn't hitting us with the ropa vieja like
No.
Jorge Mas was.
He's like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And we're like, nah, fam. We don't do all that lisp stuff out here, bro.
Reynoso, what'd you think of the announcement?
I think what got me is Messi actually does look pretty excited.
He does.
He looks a little relaxed.
Yeah, he looks very relaxed, man. Shopping at Publix and the lead up to this, you know, was it a promo thing? Was it a real thing? I don't know. Either way, he partaked in it, man.
Give me that much when you see how relaxed I am.
He's taking in the culture of Miami.
Look at him. This is the most
and he's like,
comfortable he's at. Also, somebody thought that was me.
That
the security guard in the background?
Right. We're looking at this.
Which, look at my hairline is so much better than this guy.
Oh, yeah, we're blocking the thing. Hold on.
The picture?
Yeah, the picture.
Hilarious. You can't see it.
Whatever.
We caught him.
I got a much better hairline, but that guy seems a bit more dangerous. And also, his other security guard looks like Tim Howard. So it just looked like he was surrounded by two American heroes, me and Tim Howard, protecting him.
Secret Service.
Messi did this. He went to Publix right after we recorded last week,
so we didn't get to talk about it.
But he did go to Publix. He was in. I think the most concerning part of that wasn't really him shopping for himself, whether it was a promotional stunt or not. Even if it was
a sponsor, it's a team
sponsor.
If it is,
like good on Inter Miami, good on Publix, good work, fine.
He showed up to training in an Audi, bro. He's not stupid. He got Continental tires on. He knows what's good.
See him almost run that red light?
Yeah, dog.
Dude, he did run that red light. Yeah,
100% ran the red light. Even the cop behind him was like, what the fuck is he doing, bro?
But the clear slides.
Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's wearing all Adidas.
Right.
Adidas. He's wearing all of it. Why would you spend any money if you get all this stuff for free?
Yeah, but clear slides, you don't say like, oh, I'm gonna give this to my brother. You don't do that.
No, you gotta wear the slides. He gets stepped on all day for a living. You don't think he wants to have comfortable? You don't think his dogs want to breathe a little bit?
I'm glad you're concerned.
Nah, Messi in the slides is okay.
Look at that, man.
Look at him.
We're looking at it right now.
All touches, by the way. This is a highlight reel of all his touches.
First of all, the slides don't fit. That's the most important part. These are clearly his wife's shoes.
That's how comfy he is, though, in Miami, man.
If
he was
he
not
did
this
this-
relaxed in Paris, dude.
Here's what I need to understand. Imagine Lionel Messi was signing with, pick a random club in the Premier League. I don't know, maybe Arsenal. If he was signing for Arsenal. Okay, let's go Brighton. Let's say Messi signed for Brighton.
Yeah.
What would the announcement be? Would it have been what we saw?
No, I think it would have been more. They would have done a video review.
Video
reveal as opposed to like a live event.
Greatest player of all time. You don't sell tickets in.
No, they wouldn't have done that. That's not. It's very American what you guys did last night.
It's very South American as well, right?
Yeah.
This is a
Even
normal.
Saudi Arabia has done it with like Benzema.
Yeah, Saudi did it with Benzema. They had a whole to do. Maybe it's just not British to
European.
enjoy yourself.
I think that's probably what it is. We don't like having fun.
Yeah.
Typically.
It's like, oh dear, what will they say about us? What will the neighbors say?
Yeah. We tried to suck the joy out of every room.
Yeah.
So,
I really was wondering where you're going with that.
Yeah, I think it would be a Fabrizio Romano tweet, and then maybe a collaboration post on Instagram.
Maybe the fans would gather outside the
If
stadium.
we're pushing, maybe.
The fans would gather outside the stadium. They'd have a sing song, and that would be it.
But isn't it a bit of a shame that there isn't that a little bit of that spectacle? Do you think the English game would it help the game in any way? Would it help lighten up a lot of people's kind of fanatical,
The tribalism.
Yeah.
Do we need to help the English game? We need to help your game.
Good point. What I mean is, wouldn't you enjoy a little bit more fanfare? Not just it's the football, mate. It's the 90 minutes. Like, add a little bit of pizzazz to the rest of it.
Yeah, but I think we have that with transfer reveals. Like we've seen this summer alone, some of the transfer reveals that clubs have brought out. You know, one very close to my heart. That was a great reveal. Do you know what I mean? Was that less impactful than a Messi signing announcement? Like,
No, but I'm saying, you could do both.
Maybe. I
Like,
just think
do you ever play FIFA or now EAFC?
every now and then. Yeah.
So you see, like, when you unpack a big player, there's like confetti.
I get you.
fireworks.
Like
Right,
that, something
okay.
like that.
Yeah, I think. Well, they get a clap on their debut. Do you know what I mean? If they sign,
That's the most British.
What
more do you need?
Even that they think is excessive.
What are you, an attention hound?
the closest thing I can think of is if you sign a player and the season started and they kind of sign midweek, it's too late to go to the game. I remember they'll come out before the game and the fans will give them a clap. That's probably the closest thing. Obviously, that Real Madrid and Barcelona are very much into that, but it's just not a very British thing to just get too ahead of ourselves.
And you wouldn't want that.
I'm not saying I wouldn't want it. I just think like the fabric of like British football is so traditional, and like trying to change it in many ways is just like it's just it's a pose in every way.
Yeah, because even when we host the Premier League Fan Fest here, when NBC is doing their hosting their broadcast here, and we meet some of the people that work for the Premier League, and they are here, in settings with like West Ham supporters and Fulham supporters and Everton supporters and just
And
big groups.
Southampton, and
Everybody's
everyone's
just
just surrounded.
enjoying football, but they look at it, they're literally like jaws dropped, like I cannot believe a West Ham supporter and a Fulham supporter are hugging or just even friends at all or walking together and stuff like that. So it is
Also, just to give you a bit more context, so it's like one square, like a square that has like the production in front of it. So like if you're there, you're in the background of the live show, which is the pre, the mid, the halftime and the post game. And they're showing all the games at once. It's like usually a weekend that's filled with a lot of matches. So they're showing all the games at once. So there's just fans of each team all over. And they just like, there would be blood all over the streets.
That is a very American thing, though, isn't it? Like, like even I think it's an
to not stab each other? Yeah, we don't have health insurance, dude.
No.
We can't afford it.
Exactly that. Exactly. We have free healthcare.
Yeah. You're like,
5 minutes from a
stab him,
hospital.
man. He'll be fine.
We'll drive each other there after the scrap. But I mean, like tribalism in terms of like football and hooliganism, like traditionally over like the years, is kind of ingrained into us. Some of the clubs that I hate most in the world aren't my club rivals, but they're the clubs that my friends support. I don't like Chelsea, but I don't like Arsenal. I don't like Tottenham. I don't like all these teams because I grew up supporting teams that my best mates supported, and that's kind of like a culture that I don't think is here as much in the US. So that's probably why.
It probably helps that London has like 42 teams, and there's clearly it's not
right. Like if you live in Burnley, you don't meet fans that aren't, right? Because you're out in the middle of nowhere.
But I feel indifferent to.
Sorry,
Burnley.
Burnley, about
I don't. You know,
I'm trying to pick like a rural.
Yeah, like a Stoke, a Burnley.
Yeah.
You know, like those kind of middle of the run teams, like a Leicester. You know, Aston Villa. I don't really feel any particular way about them. You know, but because I don't know anyone.
Be careful with Aston Villa fans. I said they weren't that big of a club, and we've got.
They're one of European club. They're a big club.
No, all their fans commented, so we got like 40 comments.
Yeah.
That was all their fans.
Villa fans are pretty intense.
I'm trying to stoke the flames one more time. They were really intense. Yeah, they won a European competition in like 1954, dude.
Nottingham Forest as well.
Huh?
Nottingham Forest as well. They're a big club.
Nottingham Forest. I mean, still a big. I meant like the big six.
Right. Okay.
Not, AKA not Aston Villa.
What for Reynoso? As far as I think.
What happened to your voice?
Nothing happened to my voice. My voice is fine.
Oh, now it's just yeah.
Okay.
You were like, hey, Reynoso.
Puberty.
You sounded like the guy who called the
Charlotte.
Hey, Reynoso. I got a question next time. Oh my God, a puppet has replaced Christian.
With Liga MX, this is a thing when it comes to Mexicans living in the United States. There is that tribalism as well. I mean, obviously with Club America, you always
That's
find
the most hated team. Americanistas are like the most hated.
So what's the similarity as far as English football culture? Because growing up as Caribbean Latinos, we didn't get exposed to the Mexican tribalism.
We just love the sport.
Club. We just love the sport.
We love that you love the sport, but apparently that's not how everyone else treats it.
But how is it either in the home or do people support the different teams? Is it similar to what it's like in England?
Oh, okay. So at like the root of it,
yeah.
I'd say it's more similar to like South American upbringings, right? But
For sure.
But it's like it's very tribal.
But would you have a house that's like split between America and Chivas or
For
something
the most
like
part,
that?
No. My whole house is Chivas.
The whole thing?
The whole house, even down to like my uncles and aunts. Too.
So what if I showed up in like an Atlas or America shirt?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't like insinuate violence on you, but like, you won't get a beer at the party.
Yeah.
Like,
you spit in my beans as I'm eating in your house.
I'd still be happy to host it, but
Yeah.
you might not receive all the rewards, man.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. I think for the most part, we do have that ingrained like tribal rivalry in all of us, kind of like the Premier League does, because we have been around for a longer time. But the MLS is trying to work towards that. Did y'all see that like controversial post where St. Louis City like asked their supporters, or what do you call them, ultras, to not wear any Messi related gear?
Yeah.
Messi fans aren't allowed in the supporter section.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you bought a ticket, you're not allowed. I mean,
I personally have no problem with this at all. I mean, look, I go to MLS matches and with NYCFC, like in 2015, the first year. Like, so a lot of new fans are, interested in the sport. Maybe going to a game for the first time. They go, oh, what are the cheapest tickets? Oh, the cheapest tickets are in the supporter section
for a good reason, because they're supposed to be for supporters,
right? And you go into the supporter section. Some people would bring a friend. If we were playing the Columbus Crew, somebody would bring a friend and who is a Columbus Crew fan. And then you would have 30 people being like, get this fool out of the section.
A whole lot of Ecuadorians are standing around you now.
He don't belong here. Get him out. And it was interesting because even the security guards are like, why are you screaming at this guy? They're like, he didn't do anything wrong. He's trying to watch the game.
Yeah, Yankee fans, if they're like a Red Sox fan walking in the section, you just hear, asshole. Asshole.
Right.
No one gets up and is like, if you don't leave in the next 5 minutes, a drumstick will be sticking out of an attendance.
Your fans are mixed in most sports, though, right? It's like the NFL, like it's all mixed fans.
Everyone's
right?
mixed
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
That's
true.
That works everywhere but Philly.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Philly is like the one place where they're like, they throw batteries at opposing fans.
Oh, wow.
They threw ice snowballs at Santa. They booed Santa.
Yeah,
They
it's a
hit
classic.
the Giants coach in the face with a ball of ice.
Was Santa wearing opposing colours?
Yeah, red and
If so,
red and
I
white.
can understand it. I can
It's also
understand
Santa's colors.
Santa's a gooner?
But like, to me, it's a little. I get it, but maybe a club like St. Louis shouldn't be like, you can't wear them colors around here, cut. You know what I mean?
But
maybe that's not your time.
At some point, they have to, though. If
But
you want
maybe
to
the
have
fans-
a cultural rivalries, and it's going to take a while to like boil that up. But I think the MLS is smart for doing it. I think every stadium should do it because eventually that hatred of like, oh, he's a Chelsea fan, Arsenal
Reynoso
fan.
wants violence.
You hear on smoke.
Riots,
all smoke.
Bro, he's drooling this dude over.
Dude, I know I'm salivating at the idea of that, man.
What's in the water in Atlanta, man?
Don't get me excited.
I like that concept. I mean, I think it's there's clearly a line when you can go too far, but I think there's I'm wearing this shirt, the Independent Supporters Council, and they do they're basically an organization to get all the heads of all the supporters groups, and they do like a conference every year, and
like best practices.
They share best practices of like how to be a supporter. I mean, it sounds very rudimentary and maybe a little bit silly, but
I mean, it's hard to convince like an NFL stadium what a tifo is and why you should.
So it's more
very
than
different. They're like, you want us to add a zip line? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
It's not like you got to cheer the home team. You know, it's not that.
Yeah, what are you grappling to your seats? But we got an escalator. You'll be just
going down in Montreal.
It's about how supporters interact with their front offices, how they, how do they grow the supporter base for a particular club. And a lot of the people from ISC they go to Dortmund and ask them how in the yellow wall, like, how do you guys interact with the front office to get the tifos you get and all those kind of things.
A great example is the safe standing, which was a big issue for a while. A lot of fans wanted safe standing seats. The 3252 were able to get the team to agree to put that in their stadium for their section because they went to Dortmund and got like information from the Dortmund supporters who were like, here's the stats of why it's actually better. Right. Here's the stats of, violence is down. Here's the stats of why it makes it less expensive, and was able to present this. And they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. We will have safe standing. And they have the locking seats and everything. So if you go to a concert, you can put the seat down and it's not a hindrance to selling tickets elsewhere. It's like a smart way to do it.
And one of the aspects of that information that we gained is you can't wear opposing teams, colors or shirts in the supporter section because, look, I mean, and we've experienced it too, right? We were, as media, we went to for the Sounders. They won MLS Cup, and we have a lot of friends. We have a lot of friends there. So we go into the supporter section to go hug our friends.
Not wearing any colors at all.
Not wearing any colors
Very cash.
of either team. But they knew we were media, and people started throwing water at us to get out. Literally, just throwing what? I mean, it's wild disrespectful, and I wish it didn't happen.
Fiji, or what was it?
It wasn't even filtered, dude. That's why I was offended. I was like, bro, my clothes only touch the finest of water.
So even though it was annoying to get splashed with water,
I kind of understood.
Understood it.
It could have been worse.
It could have been much worse.
Right? It could have been much worse. Yeah.
So you talk a little bit about like Premier League and the culture and the tradition, which I do think in a way, not ratings wise, but I do think in a way kind of holds you back from connecting with a younger audience, because I think you see that younger audiences actually kind of connect with players more than they are with clubs and stuff now. So here's an example of something that I think would help the Premier League show the new world, hey, we're not that old stodgy Premier League.
Get ready for this, everybody.
Okay. I'm seated.
Premier League All-Star.
And we distance myself from this table.
The Premier League All-Star Game. Now, long ago, I remember hearing that even within the Three Lions, the men's national team in particular, it was tribal. Liverpool players sat and ate with Liverpool players and commiserated only with Liverpool players. Manchester United players only sat with Manchester United players. Arsenal players only sat with Arsenal players. West Ham players were not welcome in the men's national team. You knew that was coming.
There's the first one.
You knew that was coming.
The first of many.
That is now no longer the case. If you watch the men's national team, there is a camaraderie that has been created, which leads me to believe that maybe now is the time to institute something that would show just the high level of quality and the fun that can be had in the Premier League, like a Premier League All-Star game. And so that no one benefits from it more than others, you could play it in Wembley.
Again, I'm not against the idea, genuinely. I think the only thing is when you would play that game.
Boxing Day.
Get rid of a dumb Carabao Cup match day, bro.
Boxing Day is the day.
I would like it, but a north-south divide. So I'd do like the northern teams against the southern teams. So it'd be all the teams in London, essentially, pretty much Man United and Man City.
Do you think it would help? And again,
Liverpool.
I think doing a north-south, not a bad idea, but I'm going to present to you that may cause some tribalism, right? So what if you picked 2 players to be captains and they did a draft live?
Like NBA style.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm not against it. It is very Todd Bowley of you to suggest this.
Shouts to Todd Bowley, bro. Who, by the way,
best owner in the Premier League. Let's go.
Brand manager of the Cooligans, bro. He paid like $180 million for us, and we signed a 45-year deal with him. But yes, fine. Maybe it's American. You will accept it, maybe a little bit, and I think you could see the benefit of it. How do you think it would be perceived in England were you to do it?
Well, let me spin this for you then. So like when I'm a big NBA fan, so when I watch the All-Star Weekend, I don't watch the game, I watch the dunk contest or the three-point contest.
Yes.
You know, because the All-Star game isn't taken seriously, it's an exhibition match.
No, but the skills challenge is.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be against something like that, but I just think what's the point of having an exhibition match where if it's one team and another team, you got players potentially going to get injured. You know, like, would you watch that? Would you really watch that if you're seeing players?
No one cares about the actual
30%?
game. But to me, the All-Star Week or the All-Star Weekend is the dunk contest, is the MLS on Tuesday is going to do the skills challenge, which are all the weight screens on the EA, whatever sports game. The getting into the buckets, the crossbar challenge, all those things. Yeah, that's way more fun.
I'd watch a crossbar challenge with Kevin De Bruyne and Martin Odegaard. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's
we already do. I mean, look, it's the week of the MLS All-Star game. We already have a Premier League club play against MLS All-Stars. Why can't it just be a mix of players? I mean, a preseason friendly?
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid those players aren't with their clubs, though.
I know. I mean, but that would.
Why don't all the clubs just do a preseason in the U.S.?
I mean, a lot of them do already.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You make more money anyway. Huh?
We'll just move the league.
You brought up my next point.
Yeah.
How about a Premier League match in the United States?
I don't think we're a million miles away from it.
That seems more
I don't think we are.
La Liga's vehemently against it, or at least Barcelona is.
Oh, the owners aren't. The fans are.
The fans are.
They were going to do a Clásico. They were going to do a Real Madrid versus Barcelona in Miami.
Would Premier League fans be okay with that concept? Because it seems like some La Liga fans
a
would
team
not
that
be.
we don't care about.
Well,
I mean, we aren't supporting. Let's say United versus Manchester City.
Yeah, I mean, you've spoken about Gen Z audiences. I think they'd love that. And I think the Premier League are 100% trying to follow like an American model in terms of franchising the league and things like that. So, I mean, I don't think we're a million miles away from
cheerleaders.
You know? I've been to NFL games in London, you know, it's just one of those things. I think in the next 10, 20 years it will probably happen. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look.
But,
would you be opposed to it? How do you think England would handle finding out that the Manchester Derby is now taking place? One of those is taking place in.
I think
New
Manchester
York.
Derby. I think that's a.
Well, we don't want.
If it's
we don't want Brighton versus Aston
you
Villa.
want a Brentford versus.
No, ew.
Burnley.
I mean, suddenly I want to bet on that game because you said Brentford. But
it depends if the game's got jeopardy. If the game's got jeopardy on it and it's got something riding on it, I think it's. Again, it comes down to the tapestry of football. It's traditional. Like most fans would be against change in the game. You know, we saw.
Would you think it would be mayhem, protests in the streets, like when Chelsea, Petr Cech had to come out and stop people from going crazy because of the Super League?
But that's new levels though.
No, but do you think it would be like that if you found out that?
No, I don't think it would be that bad.
Angry tweets.
Couple angry tweets. Okay. Handle angry
That's manageable.
Tweets.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's worth the money.
I think what would happen, I think it would be done in gradual steps. So it would be like what you said about in having that MLS game kind of thing. So like Arsenal were already out here. Man United are playing this week against Arsenal, aren't they, on Saturday? So like that, those kind of games are already happening. You know, the Premier League. There's the Premier League summer tournament here. With a bunch of teams happening for the next month or so. So we're not a million miles away from it.
Okay.
I just think, I think the MLS is doing a lot of things right. You know, with the MLS Apple TV deal and making the game globally available to people and things like that. And the Premier League will 100% take kind of a leaf out of that book, because currently, if you're in the UK and you like subscribe to all like the sports availability, like channels and things like that, you get like 48% of the games available, because we still have the 3 p.m. lockout that we can't watch games.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. We watch more. We have more access to football here than you do in England.
Yeah.
So, and y'all invented the sport,
and that's something that's being of course, 100%. And that's something that's, I would say, gradually being phased out. Like there's Amazon are starting to take games. BT Sport are being taken over by TNT, Sky Sports. Not to name all these broadcasters, but you know what I mean. I think the more the game goes in that way, the more they try and take the American approach. I can 100% see a game being played over.
Wow. Bro, we know how to make money here. Bro.
We do know
That's
how to
it,
make
yeah.
money. I mean, us two individually do not, but yeah, in general.
It has to spread to everybody.
In America, yeah.
In general, an overview of the country.
You mentioned Apple TV has a great situation right now with MLS, but they also
global.
Because it's global, and they also have a really great situation right now with Leagues Cup. Okay, because
League stuff is incredible, and you know what England fans need to do is they need to chill.
They really do need to chill. They're really just stifled in all this traditionalism.
I would suggest, I don't know, a cold, crisp Coors Light.
A nice ice cold Coors Light to watch Leagues Cup and watch Messi's first game against Cruz Azul. That is the move, okay?
Yo, in fact, you just said azul, which is Spanish for blue, which is what the mountain turns on this can.
Correct.
When it's ice cold, you don't want to be thinking. You don't want to use your digits to pick up a can and to feel, hey, is this cold? When I'm walking up to my fridge and I pop it open, I want to look down and go, how old is that ham? Maybe I shouldn't eat that. Hey, look, a can of beer. Is it cold? Well, let me see. Oh, the mountain's blue. The answer is yes.
It is the most informative can you will ever find.
If only the ham turned colors when it was no longer good enough to eat. It does. This is exactly what this is. It's letting you know this is time, bro.
Okay.
So stop drinking all that spoiled ham beer and drink a nice cold Coors Light.
Okay, I mean, good, everybody. This is finally, I was always, for years, I was trying to figure out how do we get ham into one of our promos? We found a way. So this summer, stay passionate and stay hydrated with a nice cold Coors Light, official beer of Leagues Cup 2023. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/Cooligans.
That's right. Go to CoorsLight.com/Cooligans for your beverages for Leagues Cup 2023. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
There it is, everybody. Okay, so given
Is this the podcast that has spoken most about a ham that you guys have been on?
we got to.
Well, we're
Reynoso's like, yeah, man, no,
the ham ratio's high here.
We have to talk about the Gold Cup, the final between Mexico and Panama.
Finally, bro.
Mexico lifting this is their 9th Gold Cup.
They've won the most.
They've won a whole. I mean, the Gold Cup is every 6 months. So
Jamie, this is our Euros. It is.
Okay.
But
if the
Entertain me if you will.
if the U.S. won it, I would definitely be more excited.
Yeah,
if Mexico won it, but no.
here's the problem, though. Nations League has become a bit more important.
Really?
I say that because the U.S. won it. But it has. Nations League here has sort of taken on a bit more of this is where your A squad will play. And because of timing, because Gold Cup comes right after it, this is typically a B and or C squad, unless you had a very bad Nations League, which Mexico did. So they sent the A squad out there and said, guys, you got to play again.
It's the complete opposite in Europe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. The players don't take the Nations League seriously at all. I think Kevin De Bruyne came out and said he doesn't want to play in it.
But the UEFA Nations League is, it's a joke. I mean, some of the countries that play. I mean, with all due respect to San Marino,
UEFA qualified for the World Cup is ridiculous. You guys are playing mountain towns. Harry Kane has scored the most goals for England. Yeah, 90% of them were against dentists from San Marino and Liechtenstein. This isn't fair.
So Gold Cup, I would argue, is probably a little bit more, or even Nations League. Is I don't know. I guess a little bit more meaningful to us because we don't have tournaments to the caliber of like the
promotion
Euros
and relegation. It's the only way we can get it in here.
But all right, I do want to talk about Mexico winning this Gold Cup. I mean, there was banter between. Was it? I forgot what was the newspaper that said "Y tu excusa." The basically saying like, why didn't the U.S. qualify for the final or whatever? But this. It definitely
We
much
just
more.
sent him a picture of Zendejas.
That's why, man.
But this is clearly meaningful to Mexico, not just for just winning the Gold Cup, but to turn things around.
That's
it's been
the
so
story.
bad for so.
It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks.
Is it meaningful? Even me wearing this Mexico jersey, I don't know if it truly is, man.
Really?
It's a nice trophy to have. It's something to gain momentum with, but has anything truly changed? Like y'all said, B and C teams were brought to this tournament, and Canada and the USA. I don't know if this means anything, man. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm wearing the jersey.
Yeah.
From a Mexican fan perspective, losing as you did to the U.S. was an absolute capitulation and probably a moment of massive shame for the fans of El Tri. No?
Yeah, it's one of the worst games I've ever seen out of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manager gets sacked, right? You finally get off the coca. You know? Yeah. Your family's willing to talk to you again.
I've been loving those jokes, man.
Oh, buddy, I'm leaning in hard.
These,
I've been leaning in hard, right? Now your nose is clean. You move on. You get Jimmy Lozano, who coached these guys at a younger level, right?
Sure.
He now brings them, and for the first time in a very long time, I saw a unified Mexico that played so well. You won this competition. Yeah. Can you not take something from that removes some of the insane pessimism that Mexican fans have for their national team?
No, you can. No, you definitely can, and that's probably the thing.
Give me on a scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, where were you after the USA lost in Nations League? Would you say it was a 1 or a 2, 3, 4,
What are we talking? Low is like morale?
Yeah.
I'm going to go, 2 or 3 for
2
sure.
or 3. Okay.
Now with this, let's bump it up a couple.
Where are we at?
4.
Ooh.
Oh, man!
It's hard to please.
Does that matter, bro?
You're not even really hitting the gas. You're more letting go of the brake.
You did the, is it in yet? Which I'm not saying I've ever experienced. I'm saying maybe you guys have?
But that's where I'm at, bro. I'm at a 4 still. I'm still not fully convinced is my whole opinion and take on this whole Mexican national team. Good moments for sure.
This is pretty
but
wild.
It doesn't mean anything in the scope of CONCACAF because the USA is still going to run us if they put out their best team available.
So let me give you a scenario. And this is there's 3 scenarios that can happen.
Liga MX All-Star game.
In England. How we feeling? Yeah. All those Mexicans in England. you could do it in a 5-a-side cage. They've got enough seating for all the Mexicans in England. Okay. Here's my scenario. There's 3 things that can happen now. Right? Everyone is feeling good, but Jimmy Lozano has come out and said, hey, my contract was only for this competition.
Only for a tournament.
But because he found a way to create a unified squad, there is some sentiment that he should be given an extension. He should be given more time. So there's 3 ways this ends up. 1, he wins, plays incredibly well, and you're really competitive in the World Cup. That's going to be, and again, shared with Mexico. Yeah. 2, he loses right away, and you hire another manager. 3 is the worst case scenario. He's your Gareth Southgate. And let me explain. He becomes the manager that plays just good enough to never actually get sacked, but still doesn't win anything. Now, Jamie has sat here quietly, and he is just catching strays left and right. But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I understand.
He's just performed good enough that you can't actually sack him. And now you may walk into a World Cup with a manager that's not good enough, and you may not shine in a World Cup that you are partially hosting. That, to me, is the worst case scenario.
Well, the difference between Mexico and England, no disrespect, is we have standards, brother.
Oh, wow. I like where you're headed.
International. And to explain that.
It almost seemed like that was all disrespect.
Yeah, it sounded very disrespectful.
No disrespect. No, I mean, I'm sorry. Nothing but disrespect.
We have a very clear goal for us. If we can't make it to that 5th game, which is probably going to be the 6th game now with 48 teams in the World Cup, quarterfinals of the World Cup, if we can't make it, usually end up getting fired. It's pretty clear for us. Whereas for England, it's always vague, man. It's like, is making a semifinal in the Euros good enough? Is a final good enough? Is losing in that final good enough? What is it truly? I think that's the problem with
Can
England.
I ask you a question as a Mexican fan?
Yeah.
Your nation's been surpassed by Canada and USA in the last 10 years.
Kid brought smoke.
How does assess that one? Let's dive into it.
This is Mexican fan therapy.
I will say he started with Canada. That's a tough pill to swallow. It's a lot of maple syrup.
The Canada one gets me riled up, but there's nothing to. No, the thing is, I've gone so down this rabbit hole of Mexican hate now that I'm with you, and I'm like with you.
Yeah. It's tough. It's like stuff that
We should be talking about Mexico like that because they've fallen from the heights that they were at.
Reynoso's like, give me more smoke, bro.
Keep going.
Yeah. There's no safe word being used here, bro. I think the tough part is if you look at where Mexico is, you're the biggest country in Latin America, right? Spanish-speaking Latin America. You have this insane amount of talent. The sport is beloved. It's number 1, 2, and 3. right, of top sports in the country. It is absolutely beloved. How? How can you not find? We are lucky. We found a great 11, right? Maybe not now. Maybe now we've gotten to the point where we're developing a little bit more talent. Canada, for sure, somehow found in the snow. They found this incredible. They found some gems. How can Mexico not put together a better 11?
Well, before you can answer, so I don't think the quality of the team is really that poor. I don't know if you necessarily feel that way, but
okay, hold on.
Somebody's coming in. Somebody's opening the door.
Yeah, you can just leave that there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We got delivery.
Cool. So someone just robbed us. Hold on, no. Alphonso Davies. Is there a better player on Mexico than Alphonso Davies? No. Okay. No. Is there a better player than Jonathan David
on Mexico?
I mean, Santi. Chucky, maybe.
No.
Chucky's not healthy right now.
Right. Okay, so we're talking about players right now.
Right now.
I'll still go Jonathan David because he's done more internationally than Santi.
Okay.
Yeah. I can keep going.
I mean, but I would say the drop-off is not that stark.
That's massive. We just named two players on the Canadian team.
No disrespect Jonathan David. Jonathan David and I guess maybe Santi or whatever. I don't think the drop-off is incredible.
Santi Jimenez may be a better player than Jonathan David is today. Sure, but we still need to see that. The goal last night, coming near the end of the match, absolutely incredible. Great run, pushed the guy off. An incredible, an emblematic goal for the future of Mexico coming up, right? But as of right now, you want me to pick a starter. Santi Jimenez wasn't even starting on this team. He came in as a sub, bro. Right. I got to go Jonathan David.
Which is fair. I just think the bigger issues in Mexico is just the chemistry with the team, the issues with the federation, grito. Like, there's just so much drama attached to wearing the shirt that there's no way it can't affect how you actually play. We went to the Azteca for U.S.-Mexico for the World Cup qualifier, and the first thing you notice there is just like, the Mexican fans aren't even mad that we're there. Yeah. They're more mad at they're like mad at the other Mexican fan. Why are you wearing that shirt?
Yeah. They're like, hey, Americans are here. Yo, we suck right now, don't we, Americans? What's up, Americans?
So I think that's the bigger issue, and that's why I think the new coach it gives me Berhalter vibes. Gives me like, oh, okay, hey, I'm just one of the guys.
You think he brings Mexican pride?
Yeah, well, not even just pride, but just like, yo, like.
You think they're gonna build the wall now? That's how much pride. No, they actually need to. We are completely invading Mexico City.
We'll pay for it, bro. Yeah. But there's just like Greg Berhalter has a little bit of a like. Not this authoritarian, militaristic kind of man. Yeah, he's just I'm
one of the boys.
Yeah, I was playing a couple years ago, just like you. Like, I know what it's like. You know what I mean? So he has that energy.
Walks in, he's like, "How the DMs play?" You know what I mean?
He knows sneakers. He's cool.
Yeah, he knows the vibes.
Touches on the sideline.
Right. Yeah. So having a coach like that, I think, is what they needed, and that's why I think they did so well in this World Cup, because there was a little bit of just like, yo, let's just shed some of these like issues that we're constantly dealing with. Yeah. And look, and obviously having Tatas, having Coca, like they couldn't like just make the players feel a little bit better about just wearing the shirt. And I think I hope it improves. I think a better Mexico makes a better U.S. team. But overall,
really, I don't know. I'm enjoying the rivalry. Now
but the U.S. is just a much better team. I think when it comes to, I think the brand of U.S. soccer has improved so much since missing the World Cup in 2018 that look at the players that are dual nationals. Balogun, Yunus Musa could have played for England, possibly, right? Who knows?
Could have played for Nigeria in the case of Balogun.
But to choose
Italy for
all these players choosing the United States when a couple years ago the brand wasn't that strong. Like how badly did it want to play next to Kyle Beckerman, right? You know what I mean? No shade.
Yo, Kyle Beckerman right now just ripped the AirPods out of his ear. He was like, "Why me, bro? I shaved the dreads."
You need to get that, man. That was harsh.
That's where I think Mexico is failing. Not having enough players playing in Europe, not having players playing at a really, really high level to compete with some of the guys on the U.S. team.
Are so desperate for pride in the jersey that we got kids going viral.
Yeah, exactly.
For showing pride, or
they're
at least
taking out dual nationals now, bro.
And they ain't even Mexican, man. That's how desperate we are for
You know what? Yo, Jimmy Lozano, start the quesadilla instead, bro.
Man.
Put him in a shirt.
We got to talk about this little kid. I don't know his name, but this kid went viral. I saw him on TikTok. His mom, we'll play this.
And I want to say that I kind of understand where this kid's coming from.
He
You're
wants to
throwing
be-
a tantrum. The kid wants a quesadilla.
He wants to be Mexican, bro. When I go to Mexico City, my last name is Polanco. Everybody's like, "Yo, you're the best Mexican.
That's right.
You're the richest Mexican
I
I ever
take
met."
the S out of my name. I'm Alexis Guerrero, bro. Are you kidding me?
So let's play
I'm here
this
for the suadero, dude.
real quick. This little kid. Let's see.
¿Se acuerdan de este pequeño?
Why do you want to be Mexican? Huh? Because you eat quesadillas? Yeah. How you gonna be Mexican if none of your parents is Mexican?
Juntos logramos
There it is.
contactarlo.
So, this little kid,
They got him.
He wanted to be.
They found him.
He's like, he tells his mom, "I want to be Mexican because I eat quesadillas."
No,
And-
because I think he thinks being Mexican means a never-ending source of pride. Yes, he thinks it's just a constant stream of quesadillas.
Is that an option?
Which-
Is that actually an option?
With the right Dia?
right. It's a lifetime deal.
Okay, I'm in.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
But this is a really cute story because this little kid, went viral, and then they brought him out to I assume in Vegas, obviously to.
They flew him out.
SoFi Stadium.
This
was
is
the final
SoFi
one.
in LA.
And he met the Mexican national team players. There he is with Orbelín Pineda, and he got the full kit. He got the a little toy. He got a bunch of quesadillas. It was adorable, and it was great to see. Look, you see it. We're seeing him eating quesadillas right here. I mean, this is the marketing that you need to get some of these dual nationals to pick
think
Mexico.
they're
Like
actually-
I ain't even mad.
No.
Genuine ripple effects from this.
This is a feel-good story.
It's beautiful.
Could you imagine a young, let's say a young Latino crying because he's not English and he just wants fish and chips? And imagine the three lions fly him out. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
You really got to stretch your imagination a bit.
yeah.
I was trying to find something
one I
that's
don't know.
iconic.
Yeah.
Imagine the kid just loves a good pint. The kid just wants the pint.
No, that's realistic. That's
He's just having a drink with Phil Foden's kid. And they're like, wow, anyway,
Anyway, they're just mashing dudes up. You know what I mean? We got healthcare now, dude.
Definitely a feel good story. Really, really dope to see.
But this is, look, even the universe is sending posy vibes to Mexico, dude.
I think so, man. This was in the build-up to the final that we saw as well. And it worked. It paid off.
It did.
So we might start seeing an influx of children with quesadillas.
This is telling me that is if I cry,
never
my
again.
wife will record me, and the Mexican national team will fly me out and feed me.
It's just a good move. I as far as just again, I mentioned like the brand of U.S. soccer and people.
Yo, you sweating like
I'm
crazy,
sweating.
bro.
It's hot in here, bro.
Damn, bro, like you under investigation.
I forgot my bag on the train, and
Bro,
it
you
was
sweating like I'm wearing an IRS shirt and I'm looking through your receipts, dog.
Damn, bro, that was a very, very specific joke. Really? You have a notebook with some of these?
I'm wearing a wire, dude.
Alexis got quips. Like I said, I think this.
You figured me, the fat one, would sweat this much, but nah, dude.
No, man, I actually burn calories, bro.
Yeah, not me, bro. We shut it down, dude. Who needs a metabolism, bro? You can't put hot sauce on it. I don't want it.
Okay, so my point about I think this does help the brand of the La Selección Mexicana because it is. I think there's bigger issues because again, like I mentioned about El Grito and the players begging for fans to stop screaming it over and over. And yes, winning helps. Winning helps a lot, but stuff like this, you just gotta feel good about this team, and stuff like this helps.
Jamie, if you don't know what El Grito is, the Mexican fans, when the goalkeeper will kick the ball out, will yell a word that is very homophobic.
Right.
Now, it's not used in homophobic ways all the time, but the origin of it is. So they have asked the fans to stop screaming it, and the Mexican fans have been like, hilarious. Right. This is our culture. So
Double down. They double
it.
down.
Yeah. So when we were in the Azteca, the audio, like the stadium would play Mexico real loud over it. Yeah.
Over
to
it.
drown out the P word. And it hasn't worked, but a lot of fans have stopped. Some fans have continued to do it. But I think more the Mexican fan base has found a sense of power with this word to sort of punish their own federation for how badly they're playing on the pitch. So they've almost used it against them. They've almost found a way to, now we're going to scream it so that you get punished because this is how bad you are on the pitch. So to give you an idea, like it's an ongoing fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be part of the Mexican Federation.
Yeah. I think that's just good advice in general.
Deep
Someone
issue.
just knock.
Another person knock? Come in.
No,
they're good.
I thought something fell or something.
Hilarious. Well, someone's dead.
Another hole being wall.
Okay,
It is New York,
Let's
bro.
move on. I don't know how much time we have left, but we're good on time.
I do want to ask just about the Euro U21s.
Yes.
England wins.
Yes.
Doesn't give up a goal the whole way through. The youth project is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Mexico and sort of how they need to turn the corner. It feels like England has turned the corner on development. It's no longer this generation, then we need to go find the next generation. It feels like they're waiting in the wings. But also, it feels you could untuck your chain, bro. Let the world see the ropes.
I didn't even notice the
Let
ropes.
the world see the ropes, bro. Come on now, kids in New York. He's looking like... right? Now it seems like there's a generation waiting in the wings, but England fans are not the most optimistic ever. This pessimism tends to lead the way.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that and what is coming next and this next group of young potential stars?
Well, I think we're pessimistic for a reason. We haven't won since '66. It's been a long
remind
time.
you of it.
It's
Yes.
been a long time. I think you look at the talent on show in that team. There's hundreds of millions in that team already. You look at Anthony Gordon, Morgan Gibbs-White, both players that have gone for 40+ million already, and they won't even touch the senior squad. You know, Levi Colwell's coming through at Brighton, is going back to Chelsea this year. There's lots of good players in that team. The keeper, I forget his name, is it Trafford?
James Trafford.
Just signed for Burnley.
Should have gone
Yeah,
to Manchester
yeah.
United. James Old Trafford, it's right there.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
they missed an
simple.
opportunity. But yeah, again, Curtis Jones as well. There's so much talent
Emil
in that
Smith Rowe.
team. Yeah, well, you know.
He played well. He scored goals. Stop it.
Yeah.
I could shut your mic.
My guy scored a game winner.
Yeah, he needs to do it in the league more. But yeah, I think all the other players are playing integral roles in their teams. You know, Trafford was playing at Bolton last year. Obviously, was important for them. Anthony Gordon had moments. Obviously, I know you probably don't like him from the Everton links.
I mean, look, he yelled at Everton fans as they were accosting him and not letting him move through traffic. So,
How dare he?
How dare he?
Yeah,
The disrespect.
I think English football in general is in a good place. I think we always have these kind of generations. It's just being able to perform on the international stage. I think everyone always talks about the golden generation when we had like Ashley Cole, Ferdinand, Shearer, all these players, Gerrard, Lampard, but they don't talk about when we were playing against Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and things like that. So all these other teams around the world had these equally world class. We had Spain that were equally world class. You look in world football now, and I think England are generally on a level with anyone in the world, just in strength and depth alone. I think other than maybe France.
Neck and neck with the United States because 0-0 at the World Cup.
In
so
fact, I
pretty
would
much
say the
says
U.S.
that
played better.
That's
actually,
why-
in
so
that
we're
game.
essentially exactly
Yeah.
at the same exact
So
level.
you were
It's like-
saying France, Germany, United States.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those future, first teamers in Musa and Balogun, have chosen you guys. I don't know if they'd make the under-21s at the moment, by the way.
Oh, actually, Balogun, the under-21 coach, was very upset that Balogun left. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Are they touching the first team?
This is tense.
I know, right?
I don't know.
I'm just-
Good question. Good question.
They've shaken hands with some of the first team players. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
So they're there.
Put the cones out for him, bro.
Yeah. Take Kane out. Balogun in. Let's get Balogun in.
Hey, you got 3 years. Balogun will be in the perfect age range for it. But
did you see Harry Kane on Hot Ones?
Yes.
Was it?
I saw a
I
thumbnail.
mean,
was
how are
crazy.
you on a show that has all that spice and you still don't have a
mate.
personality? How is this possible?
Can I just say what really disappointed
Did
me
he
about
get
that?
taller? Jamie.
What really disappointed me about that is the first wing. He was like, "Oh, it's
He
hot."
coughed.
Yeah.
Coughed on the first wing.
And he drank milk after the first
I was
wing.
like, no, you're representing all of us
Bad
here.
PR.
He did finish. He went all the way through.
He did.
I thought he did all right.
You can't cough on the first wing.
No.
You can't show weakness that early.
No. How did, as England, so this is a big moment for England, right?
Yeah.
You're on a big super American show. The show where you eat. You don't get to talk if you don't eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the most American thing I could ever think of. How do you think he represented the whole of England?
Yeah, he did well. I think he's a good spokesperson when he's not speaking. Obviously, you know,
Yeah.
ignore the list. Ignore the list. But he's a good advocate for English football. I think he held himself well. It's a shame that Sean Evans didn't ask any questions about potential transfers. But
Yeah.
Look, we're just happy he got the names right of it. He called it football. That was pretty dope.
I like you were allowed to talk about it, right? The Hot Ones thing you did?
Yeah. I did the run through for the game show. Hot Ones sold the game show here in the United States.
Okay. Oh.
And they hired comedians to do the run through, which really was, let's give comedians the most amount of Scoville and see how they react.
Right.
And I ended up, my stomach pumped itself.
Right.
That's a true story.
Okay.
There's something called a capsaicin cramps that your stomach does, which typically happens after so many million Scoville. And I took in 3.8 million Scoville.
Is this footage available?
No, there's no footage of it because we left and we were like, all right, guys, they gave us a handful of Tums and they were like, on your way. If I were you, I'd go get dairy. And a block and a half away, an outdoor eatery, I leaned over the fence and I went, as people were eating their dinners and they thought I was on drugs. It was freezing outside. I ended up getting in a Uber with the window down because I just needed cold air. And my friend said I looked like Fat Dark Knight. As I was sweating with my head out the window. And then those three guys realized, wait a minute, if that happened to him, it's going to happen to us. Yeah. And they all ran home. Our friend Alex ended up putting ice and butter on his butthole. Because he heard dairy and he went and got butter. And I said, where'd you get butter? He's like, and he goes, oh, it was my roommate's. So I go, well, there's the end of that butter, dude.
Okay, well, good. One of my favorites.
Yeah, so maybe Harry Kane's got butter on his butthole.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The Declan Rice, we should talk about that. Obviously.
I knew we were going to wait.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Clearly, obviously, we spent 4 years at West Ham.
6, I think.
Six. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie, our big hammer that we got here,
made his professional debut at West Ham.
Yeah, he scored his first ever professional goals against Arsenal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we went and bought him. Don't you dare disrespect us, we'll buy you.
105 million? Was that the number?
100 million with 5 million in potential add-ons.
Okay, there's a lot of, clearly a gang of cash for him. But this, look, the reveal obviously is difficult to lose a very good player for your club, but to go to Arsenal, he seems really happy to be there.
Yeah.
There's something about, I don't know if it's, look, he just won a trophy.
A relief,
Just won a trophy with West Ham. So I'm sure he has clearly a lot of love for the club.
Yeah.
But there's something, I don't know if it's just the Arsenal brand, the logo, or something.
Maybe it's because we're on the up.
But he seems very, very excited to be an Arsenal player. How do you feel about it?
As a West Ham fan, I'm disgusted.
Okay.
As a Declan Rice fan, I'm happy for him. I think he's one of the good graces of a lot of West Ham fans. We've got good money for him. He's given us he's the most 9 out of 10 player every single week. He's so consistent. So you're buying, in my opinion, one of the best defensive midfielders and progressive players in the world. So I think he is the guy that's your future captain. He's the future England captain. He's, I
could have been the Irish captain,
the
Ireland captain.
Let's be real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's be real though.
Yeah,
Jack
Grealish,
Jude Bellingham.
I can't sing high enough praises of Declan Rice. And I've been saying for the longest time, if West Ham can't give him Champions League football or the highest possible football level out there, then he probably will end up leaving.
Does he leave a legend because he helped you win that trophy?
I think that's a difficult question for a lot of West Ham fans because there's been players for us that have turned down big moves. Like Paulo Di Canio is probably the biggest legend for West Ham because fascism aside, great player, great player,
a legend. Don't ask any questions.
We all have flaws. No one's perfect.
Hey, you know me, I'm a bit talkative, so I'm about to say.
Hey, he scored some good goals. But like I say, he infamously turned down Sir Alex Ferguson at Man United. So for a lot of West Ham fans, he's the.
You figured he'd want to wear red.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Being a fascist,
But I think for a lot of West Ham fans, I think the fact that he's gone to Arsenal, is like the real like. You know,
well, where could he have gone that you wouldn't have minded? A big club.
Anywhere outside of London.
Okay.
So if you went to Manchester United, you wouldn't have cared?
To say I don't care would have been. I'd care. I mean, Man City would have been great because I think ultimately anywhere that Declan Rice wants to go, from a personal perspective, I want to see him develop as a football player. And I think there's only like 2-3 coaches in the country who are going to help him develop. Arteta is one of them. Obviously, going to Arsenal hurts because I don't like Arsenal, you know. But I think Mikel Arteta will help him be a better player. He'll come out of the role that he's played at West Ham and he'll be more expansive as a player at Arsenal. I think it will help you go to the next level, which unfortunately is still second in the league.
So ridiculous. We weren't first for quite a while. I want to ask you this definitively. I want a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
Okay. You are a West Ham fan. Is Declan Rice worth the money? Arsenal
Yes.
paid?
Yeah. 100%. There's no one in world football that does what he does. The stats back it up alone.
What do you think is the most significant thing he does?
No, yeah, on the pitch, it's his progressive passes. He transitions play better than most midfielders in world football. And I think his leadership on the pitch as well is something that I think Arsenal desperately need. Because I don't think you have many leaders, really. I think Odegaard's a great captain, but I don't think he is a captain. You know, I think Declan Rice is a captain. He's a guy that can like lead your team through the trenches, you know. So
Odegaard reminds me of a Kevin De Bruyne. Probably not the guy that's going to give you a rousing speech.
Yeah.
But he's going to play exceptionally well and he's going to give you his all on the pitch.
Yeah.
But he's not the guy that's going to turn around and get you hyped.
Yeah, he's not the Gunda one. Like he's not the guy that like picks you up when you're going through periods of
Right.
you know, just like tough times. And I think generally
Which reminds me, I want to say hello to my wife because she does that for me. Anyway, go ahead.
picks you up in tough times. So your wife is like Declan Rice.
Yes. Yes.
That's a great compliment.
Yeah,
I would take that.
Same
I would take
quads, too. Let's go.
that. Should I edit this bit out? Or?
No, dude, go strong. And put me in a heart.
I gotta send this to her immediately. All right, we gotta wrap up. But Reynoso, let's start with you. Just remind people where they can tune in and watch your work, bro.
The Give and Go on all social media sites, Instagram, Spotify, you know them all. Check us out, The Give and Go.
Yeah.
What is the one social media that you say, this is the one we want you to follow us on?
Oh, go to our YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, long form and short form content on there. Check us out on there. And once again, thank you guys for having me.
Honored, bro.
For
Thank you
real.
so much for
Really
coming
appreciate
through.
it.
Big fan of your work since the moment y'all started,
Thank you,
man.
brother.
Really love what y'all do.
Keep it up. Jamie, please, outside of editing Cooligans clips, what else you got going on?
That's all I really do. No, so you can find me on socials on TikTok and Instagram under Jamie Talks. And if you know Copa 90 or Copper 90, I'm a producer there. You'll see me in front of camera, behind camera, doing all sorts of things there on the Copper 90 page. So.
Awesome. What's the most, I don't know, being at Copa, you haven't been there that long, right? It's been like a year, I think?
I've been there about 4 months.
Oh, okay,
so
4 months.
Super new, yeah.
Most fun project you've gotten to work on so far?
What about that trip you went on?
Player you met or something? What?
There's a few that I've done. I went to Naples when they won the Scudetto. Napoli won the Scudetto. I was in Naples for that, which was crazy. What else have I done? I'm trying to think.
I mean, you're here.
Of course, the greatest day of my life. I was in Prague.
Okay.
I was in Prague to see West Ham win the Conference League.
Yeah.
Champions.
I was hoping you would mention that.
Yeah.
Napoli.
I don't know how I didn't think it. I feel fraudulent. At this point.
Yeah. That's like, you know, your favorite team. They sent you there to watch
Went to San Marino with the ultras, with all 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
San Marino. There's that mountain town we were talking about.
Yeah.
You got to meet the baker, aka the striker.
I did. One of them was German, believe it or not. Travels 800 kilometers just to get to games.
What's that, about 4 miles?
Yeah, about 4 or 5.
Yeah, I don't know kilometers.
All right.
Also,
guys,
if you go to his bio, we're in it.
Oh, yeah.
you are
right.
actually in it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's cute,
I know,
bro.
right? Give and go. Hook it up.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Shout out to these guys for coming through in New York. We had to get them
Absolute
on. I had to get him on the show, so I'm glad it all worked out. We're on our way to D.C. We're going to be in Washington, D.C. for the MLS All-Star Game, the skills competition. We're going to be doing, I'm going to be playing a pickup game. The Cooligans has a team with in the Body Armor Content Creators Cup.
That's right, and I will be there as well. Not playing. Their EMT budget is lacking. But I will be hosting the event with Marisa Du.
That's right. So this is going to be, look, so the people watching, I mean, Marisa Du is going to be commenting on my game, but I'm playing.
Look at these legends.
I'm playing with Bill Hamid, Michael Laurie, who I went to Austin with when I went to the Austin FC game.
Right.
That's where I met him. He's a writer. Taylor Rockwell of Total Soccer Show,
who just won Best Podcast Host.
Look at that.
By World Soccer Talk.com.
And Aaron West of CBS Sports Golazo.
The homie. Super swaggy.
Okay. So this is, we're playing, like Rodney Wallace is playing. It's going to be a couple tough teams. There's Kalen Carr.
There's other people than just Rodney Wallace. Yeah, it's a heat. There's a heat-filled level of competition.
Yeah. So obviously the Cooligans gonna win it. Everybody's putting their money on us, so I'm excited about that. So if you are in DC for the MLS All-Star Game, it is on Tuesday. It is at the what's the place called?
I don't know. I should know this.
I forgot the name of the place.
But just remember, last year it got chippy. So
it did get Hylon. It's so there, July 18th. It starts at 1 p.m. at Hylon at Union Market. Come
which
through.
Is 1309 5th Street,
Northeast. Yes.
So 1309 5th Street Northeast.
So you can RSVP if you want to attend bodyarmorcreatorscup.com and go register. So go see, if I still got skills. I haven't played in a little bit.
And go see if I can remember how to swear on a microphone since CBS has put a little cattle prod on it for every time I go to do it.
So it should be a lot of fun. As always, make sure you follow us at Soccer Cooligans on all social channels. And as always, the podcast, if you want to subscribe here on Spotify and Apple, everywhere, on YouTube as well. We out here doing it. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff for the MLS All-Star Game. And another reminder, the Women's World Cup Daily, we will be doing daily episodes for the tournament starting on Thursday. So make sure you subscribe to that. Tell some folks. We got a lot of fun interviews down the pipeline and great guests, a bunch of fun stuff for the Women's World Cup.
If we made you laugh, if we made you cry, if we made you bored, if you are a Tri fan and you're upset at me, if you are an England fan and you're upset at me, or if you're one of those and you're happy with me, regardless if you hit any of those metrics, hit the subscribe button.
That's the move. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you in a few days, right after the Women's World Cup starts. So lock it in. Enjoy the Women's World Cup with the Cooligans. We'll be here every day for you. All right, everybody. Peace.
We love you.